This is Carl with the Racerred channel, riding the mighty MT09. I haven't given it some riding time in a long time. Been riding the R1 a lot. This one I've been needing to do a little bit of maintenance on, but I'm sure it's going to be fine for this ride at least. I need to do an oil change on it mainly. But the R1 still has a dead battery, so I need to throw a battery on that thing. Kind of wanted to talk about the economy. I am not your financial advisor. You should definitely consult with your own professional financial advisor if you want financial advice. Nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm just talking about what I think of the United States economy, what I see for its future, with Trump being in there now, or almost being in there, I should say. He's going to take over. And I think there's kind of a dream team going on. I mean, it's going to be pretty amazing. Alex Jones is going to be his press secretary. I want to see that. I really want to see that. And then you have Kennedy in there. You have Elon Musk. Apparently they're going to take all the food dyes out of our food and try to make our food healthier, which is amazing. I really like that idea. We shouldn't be eating poison. I think a lot of good things are going to happen. But anyway, so I'm optimistic. I don't really know for sure what's going to happen, but I'm optimistic. I never thought that Bitcoin would go above like 50,000. When it was at 50,000, I was like, okay, I'm not buying any of that. It went down to like 9. I was like, yep, I was right. And now it's up to like 150 or something like that. I haven't been paying attention to the price of it recently, but it's up. It's way up. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And I'll tell you guys a story about the worst I've ever messed up, probably financially, has to do with Bitcoin. I had a friend who was telling me about Bitcoin back when it was like $5. And he said, you have to get into Bitcoin. You should buy like $1,000 of it. It's not going to set you back that bad. Just do it. You're not going to regret it. He's like, it's the future. And back then, even back then, I kind of had a pessimistic view of new currencies and just, I thought it was going to be a fad. I didn't really think there was going to be much to it. I was like, that sounds like a good way to lose $1,000. Well, you guys can do the math how much money I would have in Bitcoin right now if I bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin for $5 each. I think I would have, I don't know, you can do the math. I'm not sure how much exactly I would have. Probably in the millions, maybe 5 million or something like that. But yeah, that would have been a lot of money for sure. There are a lot of good decisions I made, which made all the difference for my future as well. So I'm happy with those. But how many bad decisions could we make on people who come up with stuff like that? I mean, throughout the years, I've had so many people come to me with different financial ideas. Some of them had to do with real estate. Some of them had to do with like apartments, investing into apartments which they would manage. And I was like, dude, and those were big deals. It was like they wanted like 50 grand from me. I was like, no. I even had a guy who really preached dinar to me, and most people probably don't know what dinar is. It's the Iraqi currency, which is supposed to go through a change. It's supposed to get restructured, and according to this guy, when it happens, it will be, whoever has dinar will have millions of dollars. It'll be like just a massive amount of money. And I can talk about this freely because I'm not giving any specific details about this guy, but he was like going on these trips with the idea to him, it was like knowing that he was going to be a billionaire. Not just a millionaire, he was going to be like a billionaire. He picked out which cars he was going to drive. He picked out a mansion. He actually looked at this mansion in another state. And dinar, it never went anywhere, and I could have spent a lot of money on that. But who knows, maybe it will still. I mean, imagine if it actually did do that and this guy is a billionaire tomorrow and I'm like sitting here looking like an idiot. But there's definitely those cases you just have to do your best. But generally speaking, there's really no easy answer. There's really no easy way out. There are investments that will get you a lot of money, but they're far and few between. Tesla is another one that I watched a video on Elon Musk really early on, and that one I actually did 10x my money on, but I didn't put very much money into it. And then I took all of it out eventually because I had made enough and I didn't think it was going to go any higher. I kind of incrementally took out of that one, and it kept climbing and climbing. I bet it still is climbing to this day. But anyways, I made a lot of money on that one. In 2019, I started preaching a little bit about the stock market, stock trading, especially during COVID. And you really have to be careful and not put a lot of your net worth into these different companies, especially if they're like smaller companies, high risk companies. I lost out on a lot of those, but the ones I made money on made up for the ones I lost on. So during that time, everything was 10xing that I couldn't lose. I was like putting money into stuff and then it would 10x the next day. It was like maybe not that crazy, but it was pretty amazing how fast everything was climbing. So I was sold on a lot of stocks that I probably shouldn't have been sold on, just based off of the research I was doing. I was doing as much research as I could. I was really getting into it, and man, I was making a lot just investing in these different companies, and everything just kept skyrocketing, and suddenly everything just plummeted out of nowhere. Not really out of nowhere. It took some time, but so I actually lost like 50% at the time, but I had already 10x'd everything, so it was like I still gained like 5x what I originally started with. I was happy with that. These days, I haven't been talking about this a lot because I have taken a much safer approach, and I'm back to the long game. I don't really invest too much. I don't have the expendable income currently to be investing very much, so I don't try to go too crazy with investments right now. However, with this current economy and with the new administration, I'd like to hear what you guys think the future holds. A lot of people have different triggers, and some of those are financial. Like, I was talking about financial stuff, and one guy told me he was out just because I was talking about financial stuff. He's like, I don't want to listen to a guy on a motorcycle talking about finances. And I was like, that's fine. I talk about pretty much whatever I want. And that includes politics and religion, churches and finances and astrology, governments, everything. I'll talk about anything. And you don't necessarily need to know what you're talking about in order to talk about anything. It's just my opinion on stuff based off of what I've read. So I just do my best to give you guys accurate information based off of what I've seen. And that's kind of like right now I don't really have much to say on the economy or like what I would recommend, because I don't know. I have no idea what it's going to do in the next 4 years. But I am hopeful for the structure of it, and I'm hopeful that the tyranny will be reduced significantly. So I'm very happy for that. That's outside of the economic benefits of what's going to happen. Very happy to see a group in there that values freedom. I think Bitcoin is a crazy thing right now. It's gone so high. I don't really know. I don't invest in it, but I don't really know what to make of it. Like I said, I don't really invest in too much stuff right now. America as a whole, it's weird when you look around because it seems like we're so wealthy, but I think what I'm seeing is we just have a lot more loans than everybody else. We can have free money that we have to pay back with high interest rates. So you go to any other country pretty much and they don't have a lot, but they don't have debt either. Most people that come here look at our houses and they're like, these are mansions. But there are people here who literally cry because they can't afford a 4-bedroom house or like a gigantic house of some sort on a hill somewhere, or you know, we just have this mentality here that we're so abused, not abused, but like we're so downtrodden, we're so poor if we don't get a gigantic loan for a mansion. It's a thing that most people from other countries will tell you when they come to this country, is that we live in mansions. There's no other place on earth where the houses are so big. To wrap this up, as a whole, our country needs to have a little bit of humility. We need to quit spending. We need to quit justifying our spending by saying we need this or we need that. Like I said, the people from other countries, they come here and they see our houses, and our houses are massive compared to the ones over in any other country. So while we're over here, we're like most people are just, if they can't live in a 4 or 5 bedroom house, they just don't know what to do. They feel like they live in a slum or something, and it's just not necessary. And the really big difference is the fact that we enslave ourselves with loans in order to get mansions, and other countries don't. They just live in little houses and they don't get these gigantic loans. I was looking at the median incomes of different countries. It's not like we're making crazy amounts of money more than anybody else. So I've been trying to put this together, like how do we have houses that look like mansions compared to these other places, and yet we don't have that much more money? Well, everything in this country is built on credit and slavery, voluntary slavery, to look good in front of your friends, essentially. So I think if we did away with that, we'd be much happier, for sure. Anyways, I'm gonna call it quits on this one. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.